The drunk old man recognized from the sound that the card that had fallen was the ace of spades, yet he pretended to know nothing and said not a word. He clearly saw Heise's card-switching trick, but exposing it at this moment would only hinder his plan to help his son turn the tide. The young man across the table was sweating on his forehead, with few chips left. The wall clock pointed to 11:50, leaving only 10 minutes until 12 o'clock, when the gambling debts would be settled. If he lost everything, he would have to have a finger cut off. Again, Heise slapped the table, holding a pair of aces in his hand, a proud look on his face. The young man's hands trembled as he shuffled the cards. When he spread them out, it turned out to be a straight. He sharply pushed the chips forward and said, "I'll follow." Heise's eyes were full of suspicion, and he winked toward the corner. The dealer in a red dress came over with tea. When she bent down, her neckline was pressed very low, and her eyes glanced over the young man's cards. Bang! The old man slapped the table, grabbed the young man's cards in a drunken manner, and when he spread them out, they had become a pair of 3 seconds and a single 9. The dealer tapped the edge of the cup 3 times with her fingertips. Heise sneered, "Just these lousy cards? Add another 10,000. Amid the surrounding cheers, the young man's neck turned red. All in. Heise popped open a bottle of champagne, and the foam splashed onto the pair of aces. "I'll keep you company till the end." But when the young man lifted the cards the old man had stacked, the straight was clearly visible, and the entire room fell silent in an instant. "What did you see on the cards?" Heise grabbed the dealer by the hair. The young man glanced at the snoring old man, thinking he was just a drunkard, and gritted his teeth, changed to a new deck of cards. When the new deck was opened, the old man's nose twitched slightly. The chemical smell indicated that there were fluorescent fibers in the cards, which could change color with an electric field. As expected, the young man's good cards turned into useless ones one after another, and his chips dwindled rapidly. After the clock struck 12, the final round began. The young man got a straight flush, slapped his empty wallet on the table, and said, "All in." Heise grinned sinisterly and followed, pressing his finger lightly under the table. The old man took a card out of his sleeve and flicked it toward the electric switch with his finger. Zyla, the entire room went dark. The backup power kicked in, and the light was much dimmer. When Heise lifted his cards, his smile froze. All he had were blank cards. He didn't know that the fluorescent fibers would fail under such light, and showing the cards would be equivalent to admitting to cheating. "Show the cards." His accomplice went to flip Heise's cards, and when he saw they were blank, he suddenly pointed at the young man. He switched the cards. "Make him show first." The young man lowered his head and found that his cards were also blank. Cold sweat was just starting to break out when the old man stood up unsteadily, pressed down on his cards, and said, "Let me do it." When those calloused fingers lifted the corner of the card, the young man was so scared his heart almost stopped beating.